I'm going to take you on a tour of the inside of Scooty-Doo. Whoa! Oh my God, Scooty-Doo! Oh my gosh, and a D! Hello, D.
Hello there.
How goes it?
Well.
Thank you for inviting me into your van to kind of see this amazing setup you have.
Thank you for helping me build a lot of it.
Like, I maybe did 5%. First of all, D, are you a structural engineer or carpenter by trade or anything like that? No, you're not. And look at like how good this is. You've got your like guitar like hanging. You got all of like photos from like your friends and stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of trinkets, a lot of things rigged up in a very MacGyver way.
It's great.
I tried to use a lot of materials that were just sitting around from other like household projects. So all of the plywood and stuff is reused from like previous things. And I bought the cedar paneling, but pretty much everything else was all the 2x4s and plywood. It's nothing super fancy, and I couldn't have done it without the help from Tommy and various other friends that were just excited about getting their hands dirty and trying to figure things out.
It was so much fun getting to help you with this, and literally like this I think is where I was most useful, where it's like, oh, I've got hands, I can help you like squeeze this together.
And you also helped put up a lot of the walls too.
That is true. This side, I feel like. Yeah. But you did, because it was funny, because like I was like, oh, I'm gonna come by and help, and then I came back, or I saw it again, and then this wall was up. I was like, oh my God. And but you did the ceiling. Did you have help with the ceiling?
Yes, my friend Sky, Dirt
Shout
Farm
out.
Tattoo.
Shout out
Sky, Dirt Farm Tattoo. They
So cool.
are based in Chicago as well, and they helped me a lot with the ceiling. We knocked this whole thing out in one day.
That's so cool.
Yeah, my cousin Anthony, who is more handy than I am, he helped me install the fan.
Yeah.
And cut the hole in the roof for that.
What are you most like proud of? Something in here where you're like, wow, I did that, and that's freaking amazing.
I mean, sometimes I'm just sitting here, laying down on my bed here, staring at
like
the ceiling.
looking
I'm
up.
just like, wow, yeah, I did that.
Here's the POV shot.
I did that. You know, when you're building something, you have a vision for like, oh, this is how I'm going to use this, and this is what this is for. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does work out. And so, like, this little area has been working out as I had hoped it would, as like a place to work or write or eat while I'm sitting here.
You fit so perfectly with it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you were saying earlier too, it's like, oh, the height is kind of like perfect, and then when you have food there, and it's like the perfect little workstation.
Yeah, it works out. Still a work in progress, as it always will be. There are things I still want to get done in here.
Sure.
But like, I want to cover some of the wiring and stuff, and put more of this burlap around to cover that, and various other things like panels on the doors, wood panels on the doors to cover the insulation, and finishing the edging of the floor. But those are all like little aesthetic things. And it's functional.
They really are.
It functions great. I've been living in it for 2 to 3 months now, and I haven't felt like anything is really missing function wise.
I mean, it really is like impressive.
Thanks.
And you should be so proud. And as an outsider who's like, who looks at this, I know you see like all those little things, and I feel like we chatted about this the other day, but I'm like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And like anyone looking at this will agree. And if they don't agree, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you need to appreciate how much work and time, because like this is not an easy thing to accomplish.
You don't need a big fancy van build to get out there. Like,
no, you don't.
Yeah, the fancy gear is nice, but like you really don't need it. And I was really trying to do like a minimal build with this and not have any like extra luxuries or amenities, you know? Like I don't have a bathroom in here. I don't have like a whole electrical system. I run everything off of a Yeti power station. And I have, you know, my little water pump on a
it's so
good old 5-gallon jug, and just a cooler instead of a fridge. And it's, you know, it takes a little more work to get things done, but it makes you appreciate the amenities I feel like that we take for granted in day-to-day life, like running water and those kinds of things. So,
well, what I always appreciate about you is kind of your perspective on things and how like this wood, like you were like, yeah, this wood is reclaimed, and like
so are these handles.
Yes.
And the hardware. Like I found this in my basement, and these another Chicago business plug, the Rebuilding Exchange. I found this hardware there for cheap. Oh, and I live in here with my 2 cats.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So there's that aspect to it too.
Yes, Kiki and Rooney.
They are currently in their cat tent outside, so we could do this.
Yeah, because they would run away.
Open. But their little food areas there, and then
this is so cool.
I have their litter box hidden under my bed. Yeah, you really don't need anything fancy. Like I just got a couple bins of clothes back here.
Yeah, it's like the questions that people are like, how do you store everything?
Yeah.
How do you live comfortably? How do you? But it's
exactly.
Like you've been doing it for what you said 2 months.
2-3 months, yeah.
Yeah.
And the bed is so comfy. Like people always ask me like, how are you sleeping in there? Like, are you good? Like, are you comfortable? And like, honestly, this mattress is more comfortable than my mattress at home. So it's like a 4-inch memory foam thing or whatever that like folds up.
Yeah. It's so cool.
And it sleeps 2 people comfortably, like 2 short people my size comfortably. If you're taller, you have to kind of lay on a diagonal.
Yeah.
But that's cool too.
Yeah. If this were my, I would definitely, that would always be me. Like how you're like.
You know. Me and my friend Angie had a comfy camping trip in here. We both were cozy. Like, fits me perfectly. It's a little shorter than a full-size bed.
This is like such a Florida advertise, like especially with like, oh, you got the palm trees in the back. You got, yeah. I'm gonna come around the other way because you have a really cool. Like you can open all these doors and have just like the coolest like. You're able to like kind of keep mosquitoes out. Hello. Like this is like
keep the mosquitoes out, but I can't keep the cats in. Unfortunately,
you'll figure that out.
Yeah,
that's gonna like get figured out with time.
To figure out, and yeah, like I said, there's just more storage under. Like we won't show
the litter box. It's hidden.
Storage, and then like this side is all the cat stuff. So.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it works out.
So this van, the van itself, is this really cool. I'm just gonna do like a. Like take a look at this. Like how cool is that? And you recently found out like the doors can open up all the way.
I unlocked a feature to open my doors out wider. And you know what? I want to share it because it took me a minute to find how to do it, and I wish someone would just show it because it's so easy. So if you have a Chevy or GMC van,
which this is
a Chevy, the doors typically only open till here.
Okay.
But if you take a look
come on in
at this hinge right here, the middle hinge. There you go. You pull it out towards you.
Yep.
And then it like unleashes it to
and now
open
look
further. And you can do that on both doors. The back doors already open out really wide. But
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Where are you most excited? Because right now we're in Florida, right? We're on a really cool.
We are at CB Stables in Loxahatchee Groves, Florida. My friends' relatives own this farm. Not own. They lease this farm. They've been here for the last couple of years, and they are working to buy the farm so that they can turn it into a nonprofit to help veterans and other disenfranchised communities and make this more of a cooperative living working space.
That's so cool.
They have some rescue horses here. We also board and rent out space to other horse people, like dressage groups and stuff. But the big dream is to make it more of a cooperative nonprofit space. So yeah, I've spent a couple weeks last winter here before I had the van, and then spent the summer building the van and came back here as soon as I could. So I spent the whole season here working, and I'm about to head out this weekend, go back to the Midwest.
That's amazing.
For a spell.
For a little bit. But then you're like off to do some really cool things.
After heading home for a spell, I'm gonna start driving up to Oregon.
Yay.
Try to find some people doing some good along the way, and like really want to support Black and Indigenous-led farms and collectives, and provide my hands in work in whatever way I can be supportive.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the goal.
I think that is an amazing goal. You're not just like traveling around on vacation, having a good time. Like, I mean, you might be able to say it better than I can.
I mean, for me, it's really like just trying to the cliche of being the change you want to see in the world. I'd like to see people live in a more cooperative, supportive way, and people who have access to more resources, sharing those resources, and people who have access to more skills and knowledge, sharing that with other people. That's part of why I wanted to do the van life thing is because you can kind of find pockets of community places, and I don't just want to be like a blip in people's lives and just like come and be like, hey, I'm just gonna help here for a little bit and then leave and never see you again, but like building lasting relationships so I can like circle back and come back, maybe like here I want to come back next winter, or hopefully I find some places in the Pacific Northwest that I can build lasting relationships with as well. But since I am in a place where I had the access to resources and funds to be able to do this, I kind of see it as like my responsibility in the world to just kind of pay it forward to other people, and
which is not what everyone does. So a shout out to you for being a good human being and taking that effort to say, hey,
more people can do this. And
that's true.
You don't need all the money in the world. You don't need all the resources in the world. It's like we all have something that we can give and share. And that's part of the mutual aid idea and concept, right? It's like no matter where we both are at, we both have skills or things that we can share with each other, even if it's not monetary or something. So I just kind of want to take that idea and make it more of like a all-encompassing thing in life, and not just like a portion of my life where I'm like, oh, I'm volunteering, oh, I'm doing mutual aid, and also working a regular 9-to-5 job that doesn't, it doesn't align with what my overall values are. So trying to what was the phrase I said the other day? It was like it was like design your life.
Yes.
It
was genius when you said it.
I can't
and
remember
now
what
both
it
of our
was.
brains are. We will remember at like midnight tonight or something.
Yeah.
Dee, thank you so much. So we're gonna let Dee get back at it.
Gotta start packing up.
I gotta start packing up.
Spread out here on this campsite, this beautiful campsite.
But thank you for letting us like see a glimpse into, because it's like it's your house, it's your room, so like how privileged that we get to like get a little like intimate tour. So thank you so much. We're gonna let Dee go down the road. Hug.
Thanks, Tommy.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? This has been so much fun. Okay, bye.